Welcome, Reclaim. Now, finish the fight.
What's going on, guys? Libra Claims here, and doing a little different video, kind of doing a voiceover for over the gameplay type deal. But in this video, I'm going to cover my thoughts and opinions on season 7 for Vigor. In all honesty, there's nothing crazy that's like different about it. Guns wise, everything realistically feels the same to me. I've tested out a bunch of guns over 2 days period, and everything really feels the same to me, to be completely honest. One thing I am disappointed in is the SG1 and H-bar are still the exact same, maybe if anything a tad bit better, which is actually crazy to think about. It's just like, these weapons have been the same for 3 seasons now, and you would think something would change. And I get like there's definitely two sides of people when it comes to these guns. It's the people that are like, hey, nothing's wrong with this gun. These guns, they're purple rarity, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And then there's people like me who are just like, hey, these guns are OP. Because my argument with them is, one, like I said, they've been the same for 3 seasons now, when there's been a ton of weapons who get buffs and nerfs throughout these 3 seasons. If you really focus on the people you fight and even die to, it's pretty much nothing but SG1s and H-bars. Because the whole meta is throwing an SG1 and H-bar and then just bring armor. And that's what people are running with nowadays. It's just annoying because it has not changed for a very long time. And 2, it doesn't give people the chance to try out new guns and other guns. Because new players would come in and be like, oh, hey, I heard this is the meta. This is what I'm going to use. And obviously they're just starting out, so they kind of have to build up to it. But it's just to a point that once they get to that point, that's all they're going to know about Vigor. They're not going to be like, hey, like, I didn't try this M2 Carbine. Or I didn't try the VZ. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a point that, like, because I feel when they came out with this game, they wanted to give each weapon a unique feeling, and they wanted to design these weapons to be good in certain situations and be like, hey, like, I could use this M21 as a sniper rifle and obviously use it as long range. Or what's other guns? Like, hey, I know if I pick up this M249, I'm gonna be using it as a light machine gun and putting suppressive fire down for any of my teammates, or in general, that I know I could only be at close range with this thing, maybe medium range if I'm lucky. I mean, I could go on all day describing each guns and what they're made for, but it's just a point that, like, I know there could also be an argument saying like, hey, the SG1 H-bar, like, in real life they have a bipod, and in real life it's really good on automatic and single fire. But you have to get, like, this isn't Escape from Tarkov or any realistic games like that. And if you really think about it, anyone who played in the older days, COD 4 for instance, they were like, hey, we want to come out with this game and put realistic guns in here. And yes, realistic guns, so you would think they would have to act as their realistic parts. And we all know COD. Every fucking gun in that game is a laser beam. You know what I mean? And obviously Vigor is like the way easier version of Escape from Tarkov. So that's why I'm saying, like, why make the SG1 and H-bar the only OP weapons in a game? You know what I mean? The only thing people don't know is like that there's a crap ton of other weapons that are really, really good. And that's what like pisses me off, because I love the game so much that people aren't going to explore the other weapons. They're going to be like, let's throw those in the fucking trash. Let's just use these 2 guns and that's it. That's all we're going to use. And I get like why people use these guns, because it's very easy to kill. It's very easy to melt people. You're going to win 90% of your gunfights compared to any other weapon you're going to verse. But it's just a point that, like, in my opinion, I don't see that as fun at all. There was a stream I did a while back, I think it was last season, that I told my stream, because if anybody knows me from my streams, you guys know I use all different kinds of weapons. And one stream I was like, hey, let's just use the H-bar and SG-1 one stream and let's see how it goes. And I kid you not, I'll admit I went completely off. Tons of kills, tons of threats, everything. Got crates, a bunch of loot, just crapped on everyone. And yeah, of course, that's a great feeling. But wanna hit me? It was boring. I legitimately was bored out of my mind. And it's just to a point that, like, that's just how I feel about it. I feel like this is a game with a bunch of different varieties of guns and rarities, and I think people should explore it. And I mean, that's just my take on it, so I hope to see a nerf in the future. The network connection still pops up. I'm pretty sure you all know whenever that pops up in the lobby or in game. Advice, or what I'm gonna do now whenever I see that, is obviously you see that and you know, hey, this is gonna be a really bad game. Connection's gonna crap itself. So what I usually do is I'm gonna start exiting immediately out of those matches. I know it seems like kind of like you could call me a bitch for doing that, but I'm just not going to deal with connection any longer. I've been dealing with this game since the first day it came out in early access, and I know what the connection can do to you. So what I'm going to do, if you guys want any tips on that, is I would just exit out of that game, go immediately into another game, and you're not going to get that network connection again. You know what I mean? So that's just how I'm going to deal with it for now on. But I would like to see server improvements. You guys know the only thing I want to see in Vigor right now is server improvements and bug fixes and glitch fixes, all that. That's all. I don't want any more content. No new guns. I could really give 2 craps about it, to be honest with you. But that's all I want to say. The new guns, the M60, I was telling my chat, I always love that gun no matter what game it was in. But to be honest, in this game, it's really fun to use, and I think it's really good. It definitely fits the LMG category, and it's used as an LMG, so I really enjoy it. The Raffica, I only had a little time with it, but the time I did have with it, because I know there's a lot of people saying like, hey, this is like OP, like it should be gold tier, like blah blah blah, but I don't really feel that way, to be honest, with my time being used with it. Like, I feel it's an alright gun. Like, I feel it's where it's meant to be. Like, I think it's more meant for, like, new players, for them to have, like, a little bit of an edge, considering it's a gray. And I think it's, like, in the right spot, but I'm going to experiment with it a little more, because, like I said, majority of the people say, like, hey, this gun's OP as shit. So, I don't know. I'll see. The Lachava, however you say it, the Spaz, that's another gun like the M60. Like, it's a shotgun and it works as a shotgun, and it's a really good shotgun. I feel it's definitely not as OP as it was in the early access, because if anybody doesn't know, this gun was in the game before, but they just took it out to rework on it. And but I feel it's in a very good spot. Like, I've used it. It's very dependable. It's won me the close range fights I needed to win, so I really like it. Nothing more to say about those new guns. The locked exit feature, I feel that's a really cool feature. Like, it's definitely something new that's cool that they put in, and haven't noticed anything that's badly affected it with the game. Like there's no new bugs or glitches with it. The only thing is I don't feel like it's very like, I don't know how to describe it. Its purpose isn't as what people think they thought it would be, because most of the exits I see, it's like use 5 gas, and that's pretty much it. And the thing was, the one time I did go up to and I didn't have the gas, it was kind of just a situation like I didn't have a crate or anything, so I literally just went off to any other exit and exited as I did. So like it didn't really make a difference. The only way I see it being useful is, let's say you have a crate and you go to this exit and a rare chance you don't have like the 5 gas you need. I see that as like other players could then gatekeep you from the other exits, because obviously you don't have the materials to get out of the locked exit, so you're forced to go to the other ones, so that way players could adapt and gatekeep you from going to the other exits. That's the only really way I see these new exits being useful. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it is a cool feature, and as long as it doesn't make the game more broken, I could care less, but that's the only way I see it being useful. I also seen that they took out that there would only be like one vault or one locked container or the timed safe. There's only one of those now in per map. So you would think loot would be increased across the map, but in my time, I haven't noticed that, to be honest with you. I find myself having to increase the percentage of the loot to get good loot around the map. And yes, it does work. Like there's times where I don't even need to go for the vault or locked container or whatever, and I could legit just loot around the map and it works out perfect. But you would think like without those objectives, there would be some type of like increased loot around the map, and people wouldn't have to spend their crowns on increasing the loot just so they could get like good loot without going for the objectives and like risking their life just to get a good amount of loot. And that also, the loot inside the vaults and all that are the exact same. So it's not, unless you could hold your own for new players anyway, it's not, I wouldn't see it as worth it going for. If I was a new player and if I wasn't really good or familiar with the game, I wouldn't find it very worth it to go for, unless you could, like I say, hold your own. Fisk being back to map, I love it. It's funny because it was never one of my favorite maps, but I think I'm liking it now only because it's been gone for so long. So it's just to a point of like, I'm playing it again, so it's kind of bringing more of like a fresh feeling back. But obviously once this, I play it like for another like a week or so, I'll probably get tired of it. But I like that it's back. It's a good map. It's a good map for loot. And yeah, I do enjoy it. There wasn't much else that I needed to talk about. Overall, I generally feel nothing has changed in this season besides two new weapons. Realistically, I know Spaz is new, but it came back. The cosmetics in the battle pass are really cool. I do like the design. I don't know about anybody else, but I was kind of expecting a military theme for a season for like a very long time. So I was kind of expecting this. I don't think that's why I'm like that excited for it. But it's definitely cool. Like, I don't mind it. I think I just like having a new battle pass to grind for. So I think that's just really it. But I definitely think like nothing really changed be honest, besides the 2 new weapons. But I still am enjoying this. I do find myself playing other games right now, but you guys know I will always stick with Vigor no matter what. And I think that's it for this season review. Be sure to like and comment below what you guys think of this new season. I would definitely like to hear you guys' comments on it. And yeah, definitely be sure to subscribe as well. And yeah, I'll catch you all later.